So you always dreamed of learning to play the piano. Maybe you were a kid who just begged for piano lessons and it was something that never worked out in your family life. Your parents said no. Or maybe you did take piano lessons as a child, but you absolutely hated it. So you gave up, and now you're grown up and you're wishing that you had stuck with it because you want to make beautiful music on the piano, but you don't know how. So this lesson is all about how to learn piano as an adult. I'm going to give you some helpful advice, tips and tricks, little bits of wisdom, and I'm also going to give you like a little mini piano lesson to get you started so that you can see just how easy it can be to start playing things that sound amazing. So before I start giving you my advice, I'm going to show you just a little glimpse of what you might be able to play after you watch this lesson. So it could sound like this. Something like that. Sounds super pretty, super musical. And if you've never played a piano before, that might be super exciting. Okay, so before we dive into that, the first thing you need to know when you're learning to play the piano as an adult, you are in charge of what you're learning. So I'll never forget, I had this woman come into my private teaching practice one day, and it was her first piano lesson with me. She'd been taking piano lessons prior, wasn't happy. So I taught her the things. I taught her to play what I just showed you, actually. And she started to cry. And I was like, oh no, what have I done? And she says, oh no, it's just that I never imagined I could play something that sounded like a song. I've been in piano lessons for a year and I'm playing On Top of Old Smoky, and I hate that song and I don't want to learn it. And I didn't know this was possible. So the reason I'm sharing that with you is because you are in charge of how you learn and what you learn. And the only way that you are going to move toward playing the kind of music you want to play is by knowing what you want to play and communicating that to whoever it is that you're working with in your learning journey. So know what you want to play. Be really clear on that. That's step one. Next up, and this one's so important, your brain is going to work faster than your hands. So the number one complaint and struggle and stress and frustration from adult learners is, I know what to do, but my hands are not listening to me. That is normal. You know, when our brains understand something, we just assume that we should be able to execute it, but that's definitely not the case. You have to develop the independence. You have to develop those neural pathways, the connections. So while you know what to do, celebrate that. Be patient and kind with yourself. Working through learning how to play a C scale is going to be challenging and it will take some time, but you can do it and it is okay. You are ahead of the game as an adult learner because you know how to work hard, you are invested in learning to play the piano, and you are committed, and as a grown-up, you know, we learn a few things about those things along the way. So you have what it takes, you know what you need to do, you're going to get there, I promise. Now the final thing I wanted to talk about is timing. You know, as adults, it's so easy to feel like we can't carve out the time for ourselves. Things are busy and everything's happening, and there might be kids or work, careers, whatever's going on. Sometimes you can decide you're going to do this for you, and then you get a little ways in and it falls to the wayside because you just can't seem to find the time, or you feel like you're not making the progress you need. So I wanted to say that all you need are 3 things, and maybe like 15 minutes a day. And we all have 15 minutes in a day. And the 3 things you can focus on in your 15 minutes a day are scales, chords, and a song. And you can, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, you can spend a little time on each of those, and I promise you, you will move forward. Which brings me to the learning part, so you can see how this will all come together. So if you've never played the piano before, I want to tell you that we've got groups of 2 and 3 black keys. I'm going a little bit fast here. You can review this, but I just want to get you playing, so I'm really excited. So find a group of 2 black keys, and just below that, we have C. Looks and sounds like this. So take your thumb of your right hand and place it on C. And then we're going to play the next note with our next finger. That's D. This is E, because we know our alphabet, right? F, and then G, and we're going to head back down. And as a total beginner, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, this is so difficult, my fingers aren't cooperating. Just take your time. Know that your first few times playing this, you're not going to maybe feel as grounded and confident as you will after you've played it 20 times. So that's step 1. It's not so bad, right? Notice how my wrist is up, my fingers are curved. That's all good stuff. So that's what I call like a 5-note scale. That's the first thing I'd like you to practice. It would be great for you to practice that with your left hand. So find a group of 2 below that one, put your 5 finger on C, and work your way, I'm gonna do it fast, up and down like this until you feel comfortable. That's so bad, right? So now what I want you to do is I want you to find C, and you're gonna also play G. We're gonna count the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 5, C and G. And you're gonna play like this. Now I've got my pedal down because I think it sounds really pretty, but you don't have to. So I'm gonna play C with my left hand. And you can use any finger you want. I'll use my thumb. I'm gonna count to 4. So let's do it again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna take some coordination and practice. Maybe get the hands ready, thumb here, hand set up, and go 1, hold this, 2, 3, 4. Then we're gonna find G. So look, down, down, down. This is G here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna move our third finger, because that's set up really nicely, to A. 1, 2, 3, 4. And next is our 5 on F. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna do that again. So C, 1, 2. I let go of my pedal here so you can hear the difference. G, A, 2, 3, 4. Then F, 2, 3, 4. I'll put the pedal down, 2, 3, and then I lift it and place it down again as I play the G. That's a tricky step. Please don't worry about that if this really is your first time playing the piano. You can practice that on practice session number 10 or 15 later on. For now, just get used to these shapes. Doesn't that sound so pretty? So that's what I would love for you to start practicing. And then when you're ready, you can try rocking like this. And do the same thing with your left hand. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and ta-da! So the last thing I'm gonna mention is fitting this into your life. We'd already talked about how life can be busy and how it can be difficult to find the time. I feel like you need to have some kind of support and some kind of structure, but you also need to have the ability to come to this on your own timeline whenever it suits you. And so, shameless plug moment here. This is why I am so passionate about online learning, especially platforms like Pianote, because we are able to give you support you need and the step-by-step lessons you need to learn, but you can access this whenever you want. So it's not like you have to commit to going to see a piano teacher every week, or that you're gonna feel alone as you're working through a book. So many people as adults go to learn piano and they grab a piano book that's older than they are, and they're trying to learn, and it's, the songs are outdated and they're not having fun, kind of like in the story of that lady I mentioned earlier. So online learning is a great option if you need to be able to access your learning whenever, wherever, on your own timeline, and then get the support that you need as you need it. So if you want more information about that, you can just click below the video. We've got links there that will give you all the information about Pianote. I would love to be a part of your piano learning journey. I'm so thankful that you watched this lesson. I hope that you practice and that you have fun. Say hello in the comments, and I'll see you around.